All right. Hey, everyone. This is Lori Delk with Send Out Cards, and I am here with Miss Gina Dane and also Miss Lauren Conti. Welcome to the call, everyone.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hi. So, Lauren, you are a massage therapist.
Yes.
And you are using Send Out Cards with your massage therapy business. Tell us a little bit of some ideas, like how you're using the card system in order to enhance your massage therapy business and keep in touch with your clients.
It's a great way to say welcome to the practice if they're a first-time client or if their birthday anniversary is coming up. Just the general simple things that you want to send a card for anyway. But as a therapist, I hear things from the client that we're kind of like hairstylists. We hear everything. So it's a great way for me to send a card saying congratulations that your son made the JV varsity team, or congratulations on, I have a softball player. His team just won the first championship in 11 years.
Wow.
So great card to send out. Sometimes it's just, hey, you crossed my mind and I hope you're doing well. And those are the cards I think that the clients love the most, because they just came into my head and I sent them a card. And then when I see them again, they said, you have no idea how much I needed that card that day. I was having a rough week, or I had gotten really bad news and I just needed a bright spot. And then I opened my mailbox and I got your card. So it was just sometimes simply listening to what either they're telling me in a session, or just when they cross my mind, just that simple, oh, I haven't seen or talked to so-and-so in a little bit. Let me reach out with a card. Another great way is if they're recovering from surgery, if they've had an injury, something where that it will take them away from the practice for a little bit. That's always a great way for me to just send them a card saying, I'm thinking of you. I hope you're doing better. Just simple little ways, just that thank you so much for spending 3 years with me as we build that therapeutic relationship. Just congratulating them for simple things as a new house or a new job, whatever they tell me. It's a great opportunity to send them a card.
Yeah, awesome. So tell me some of the results that you've seen besides people, being thankful for the cards. So that's always a great thing, right? Because it's how you make people feel, that making them feel special, that always is that step above doing that extra, in business. But tell me some other things of what you've experienced by using the cards in your service.
Referrals, definitely. Once I started using the cards referrals went up. That was a big one. Just people like referring family and friends, but then also reactivating clients maybe I have not seen in a little bit. Maybe they've fallen off the radar. I can go through my customer service system, see who's not been in for a little bit, send them a card that I'm thinking about them. And then I typically, within about a week of them receiving the card, they book online, or I get a text message, or they're purchasing a gift certificate.
Sounds like great retention, right?
That is. It's a good retention tool, right?
That's right.
And I know my mom was a massage therapist and she would tell me stories. So I know a lot of just like that. My mom was a hairstylist too. So it's funny, those go together too. That's what mom did. The first 20 years was hairstyling, and then the next 20 was massage therapy, but she was really close to all her clients. And us kids, as we grew up, we knew all her clients and they knew us, and they would give us birthday gifts and Christmas gifts just because they were close to us, So yeah, it's, that's a different industry that gets a lot of times even closer to your client. So using those cards can even make that touch even more special, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes. And it's a great way to also during the holidays, if you do packages, if you're a massage therapist that offer packages, it's a great way to send a card out to kind of advertise and nudge your clients to, hey, holiday season is coming around the corner. People who need presents, here's some packages for my therapy practice, or here's some add-ons. I think the big thing right now for people is buy a certain dollar amount in gift certificates, get 20 or 25 for yourself. So it's a great way to get that word out there and get the clients in there to purchase the gift certificates for the holidays.
Yeah, there you go. And then that's automatic, like referrals, right? Because they buy a gift certificate from you for someone else. So they refer that other person because they're given that as a gift, and then they get extra back for their own.
Yep.
So yeah, that's a great idea.
So Lauren, do you ever send any gifts that send out cards offers, and what gifts do you send, and what makes you decide that someone is worth a gift, so to speak? Even more, what prompts that more? You know, not worth it, but what prompts that more for you?
Yeah, the brownies are always amazing. So I do love to send the brownies, but we have wonderful little small envelope-sized gifts, which I love to send because they can be made into bracelets. There's the little penny or dime size encouragement gifts. So I love to send them, or just the little pop-ups of encouraging words. So they can always have it somewhere. So they can always have that into their thought, into their head, whatever encouraging thing I'm trying to prompt them with. So that could be, if it's encouragement, they've had a surgery, they've had a death, they've had something that's pulling them back in their life, and I really want to help build and lift them up. So that's going to be my number one prompter for sending a gift. Just for maybe birthdays, anniversaries, especially if it's a very special age or number, they're going to get brownies, hands down. And I always put a little note on the inside of the card: microwave for 10 seconds, top with whipped cream, and you will absolutely be the happiest person in the world.
I love it.
It's just a great little thing to add in there for the birthdays and the anniversaries. For my bookworms, because I know those people, because we talk about books, they get bookmarks because we have some of the coolest little bookmarks. So I'll just kind of go through the gift store, which I love to do, and pick the gift according to that person's personality or whatever situation that they're going through. Most people will get a gift from me just because they're pretty affordable, especially the card size ones. I can spend $2 because the card for me is free.
Right.
So it's a great way. It's a great customer retention. It's a great relationship builder, and you will make your presence known in the community because simply word of mouth.
That's awesome. I like the tip about the microwave too. I'll have to try that one.
Right.
Yep. I can't take it for myself. One of my clients told me, and so now I just tell everybody else. So it's a great thing.
There you go. Good job.
Yeah, so one of our packages, so you said the card's free, so that means you're on our unlimited package, right? So $97 a month, that gives you unlimited card sending. And I know, like, one time, like, the way I explain it to a lot of people is, you know, if you send out like 3 cards a day, that's like 100 a month. So if you divide that out, that's like $1 a card, including postage, right?
Right.
If you send 6 a day, that's like 200 a month. So that's like 50 cents a card. So if you look at it, this includes the stamps. So if you look at it like saying you pay for your stamps, then your marketing is 100% for free, right?
Right.
So tell me, how many, like, do you have a plan? Like, how many cards do you try to send a day or a month, do you think?
I try to send a minimum 1 a day. I've been known to send sometimes upwards of 8 a day. It just depends on, you know, how many people pop into my head and what my schedule looks like. But you can always get at least 1 card out a day. You can always think of one person who needs encouragement, who needs to be celebrated in some way, shape, or form. And you can do it from your phone. You can do it from your computer. You can do it anywhere. So even if you just have 5 minutes, you can at least send 2 cards.
Yep.
Right. Yeah, that's, some people joke saying, you know, no matter where you're at, you could do it anywhere that you're sitting down for 5 minutes. But, you know, a lot of times, like a lot of us, I know, you know, get in the bed and then that last 2 minutes, you check your phone before you go to sleep, and you can sit there and send 1 or 2 or 5 cards right before you go to sleep, you know, and it's, especially when you have the addresses already in your system, then it just takes you just a couple minutes, right?
Yeah, absolutely. If you're sitting there waiting for your kid at the bus stop, or maybe you're doing something where, if you're a public transit user here, it's not fantastic, but if you're in an area where you're using public transit, you are hands-free. You can sit there for your entire ride and just put out as many cards as you want. So it's fantastic. It's such a great tool that you can use anywhere.
Today, I actually was at the bank waiting to talk to the bank manager. And he came out and he said, "I'm so sorry, I am busy with this client. I'll be right out with you." And I had an appointment, okay? But I was okay with it. And I said, "Don't worry about it. I'm sitting here making cards." And he looked at me and I said, "I'm fine. Just whenever you're done, I'll be here making cards."
Yep.
So like she said, you can do it anywhere, you know.
And it's a great way to get the word out, because immediately he was probably going, what do you mean you're making cards? You're on your cell phone.
Right.
I've had clients walk into the office and I'm like, hold on, let me finish making a card. And of course they've received cards from me and they're going, but you're on your phone. I know. And they just love it. And then I get to share the app with them. And I've got a client that just absolutely loves using it. She'll send cards of her new puppy to her family, her boyfriend's family. You know, it's a great product that anybody can, or a great tool that anybody can use.
Right. And that's it. And when you say it like that, then that opens that door for that discussion, right? So yeah, that's a good idea.
So how does it make you feel when you send the card and then they give you a testimony back, or they call you or they text you or whatever? How does that make you feel?
It's wonderful. Of course, we never send a card looking for that.
Absolutely.
You know, that thank you so much. But, you know, when you hear that you've made somebody's day, of course, you kind of get a little bubbly and you get a little excited, because who doesn't love getting something other than a bill in the mailbox these days? Because I don't like going to my mailbox for that reason. So when they can just absolutely open something and get that little love in an envelope, and then they let you know how much they enjoyed it, it's just fantastic.
Yeah, and that's it. I think a lot of times too, I get so many comments that's it. The card came at the right time when somebody was having a bad day, like you said earlier, you know, and we don't know that, right? But God knows that, the universe knows that, whatever, you know, that you want to call it. And but it works, right? And it makes a difference. Like, no matter how, you know, like, I'm a super positive minded person, but I still have my moments too, right? We all do. And so when you just get that from someone else, it helps to, even though you lifted their spirits, but it helps them in turn lift your spirits too, when they do send that back to you and tell you thank you and how much it meant to them, or, you know, how sweet you are or whatever, right?
Oh yeah.
So how do you send, so you can send the cards in our system, you know, for business, like different, you know, like massage techniques or whatever, you know, and then you can also send for on the personal level, like the kids' soccer game or whatever, like you mentioned. So tell me a little bit, like, kind of a mixture, like, do you try to do like a certain amount of one or the other, or do you just kind of send whatever floats your boat at that moment, or?
I kind of go by intuition. Of course, for the new people or someone who's given me a referral, they're going to get more of a business card. But majority of the cards I would say that I send out are more on a personal level. For Thanksgiving, I sent out a gorgeous 3-panel card, and it had a beautiful recipe inside for cheesecake pumpkin balls.
Whoa.
So it had a nice little picture and then the recipe on it. And then it was just my personalized card. You know, hope you guys have a fantastic Thanksgiving, or whatever they told me that they're going to do. So it's more personal, I think, than business related, just because that's my personality. So it's more warmth versus, I guess, business.
That's awesome. And that's what we're about, is the heartfelt cards. And that's where, like you were talking about, the program that she's on is the $97 a month. And that's more of the heartfelt cards, even though we do have the system sends available as well, which are automatic for people. That could be one card that goes to multiple people as a group, or as a scheduled send as well. So we've got it that fits both.
Right. You can do either or. And I've thought about doing, for the Christmas cards, doing the system send, just because it's going to be so much easier. I love my clients, but when you have a large customer base, sometimes it's easier to make a nice card and then just kind of let the system take care of it. And I don't have to worry about going through and personalizing each one, though I do love to personalize. Sometimes you have to kind of look at how your time is versus what the budget is. And, you know, it's a great way to be able to have both worlds. Send your heartfelt cards, but then you can also do those system sends to make it easier on yourself.
Right. And with the system send, of course, we get 300 cards. Right. And that is for you to be able to use for 12 months. So you purchase this now, you're able to use however many of those you want to, and then you still have the balance until through next year as well, because they're good for 12 months.
Covers you for Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's Day, 4th of July, Memorial Day. will cover you all through if you don't use all 300, which is fantastic.
Right. Right. Right.
Yeah. And so, yeah, you can do those system sends even with the package you have now, right? They just cost $1.75 each plus the stamp, you know, where if you get the system sends package, you get 300 of them for $3.95. So that makes them $1.31. So that's literally like another 50 cent savings almost, you know, for each card, which adds up, especially if you send like some sales books teach, you know, you're keep in touch with your top 100, you know, or something. So if you send out several at one time, you know, it keeps you locked into that sale price, like Gina said, for, you know, for the 12 months. So there'll be $1.31 instead of that. So even if you do use them up, you know, then you still get locked into that sale price, which is a good thing, right?
Right.
Absolutely.
I wanted to also ask you, have you taken advantage of being able to put your own branding on the back of the card?
Yes.
And do you think that is beneficial for you?
Absolutely. Because that way, if I send them a picture of themselves, they're not going to throw that card away. So even if, you know, for whatever reason, they don't have their phone on them, if they're at work, actually, I do have people who cannot bring their phone into the building. So if they have that card on their desk, oh, look, turn it around. There's my phone number right on the back. So they can go to the website, the phone number. And it's nice because you can create so many different brands. It's not always the same back. And some of the clients just love to see what I'm going to put on the back because I always do an inspirational quote and they want to see the different styles. So it's beneficial for me and the clients love it too.
Right.
Yeah. And then that's like subliminal advertising for you, because especially if you send it to your client's work, you know, other people are nosy, right? So they walk by that client's desk and they're going to look at that card and, oh, that's a cute card. Who'd you get that from? Let me look there, right?
And, so they always read the back of the book first, right?
Right, yeah. Because what do they always do? Look, there's no price on this one. I wonder how much she spent for that card.
There you go. It doesn't say $6.
Right. Cool. Well, thank you so much, Lauren. Well, is there any last minute tips that you would maybe want to tell any other massage therapist or anybody in any industry really that, you know, is maybe on the fence about using the system, or a tip or trick that maybe they haven't thought of if they are already using the system?
For any massage therapist or any business owner, especially if you're starting up, differentiation is the key. And this really sets you apart because it's very easy for someone to go and Google somebody of your trade and come up with, you know, 10 other businesses. So it's nice to have that differentiation of you do something different. You do something to build that relationship. And that's incredibly rare these days. So it elevates you and puts you more in the presence of your clients' minds. And that's going to end up in leading to more referrals, more business, more closed business. So if anyone's on the fence about it, especially my massage therapists, I'm a teacher at one of the local schools. And one of the biggest questions I get from massage therapists starting out on your own is how can you build clientele? Right. Be different, be good at what you do, but be different. And this is a great way to be different in some of the best ways.
Right. Yeah. And because especially in a service-based business, I know I get a lot of service things done here in Nashville. You know, I do have a massage therapist. I get my nails done. You know, I get a lot of different things done. And a lot of people say that they want to, you know, go somewhere else because it's, you know, $5 cheaper or whatever. And I honestly don't care. I'm going to go where I like and where I feel appreciated and where I know I'm going to get really good service, you know? So yeah, when you do that good business and be good at what you do and learn what you're supposed to do, and then you keep in touch on top of that, that's it. You're going to keep that client retention really high, right?
Absolutely. And it's nice when somebody's paying for a service that they get something in return that they weren't expecting. So when they open that mailbox and they have a card or a card with a gift, again, that just builds that bond with you and that client. And like you said, that's going to be client retention and increased referrals right there because you just did something that they weren't expecting. So now they want to do business with you because they like you. You may not have the cheapest product out there, but you are good at what you do and they want to do business with you because you appreciated them.
Right.
And with send out cards and relationships is know, like, and trust is huge. But last but not least, they have to remember you.
Absolutely.
And with send out cards, it is a tangible touch where they do remember you.
Very true.
Right. Yeah. It's an easy way to stay in front of people's faces and keep them at top of mind. Right.
Exactly.
Yep. Especially in such a digital age.
Mm-hmm.
You know, card sending, I think, was an art that's been lost,
Mm-hmm.
especially in, I know in my generation.
Mm-hmm.
So it's nice to start doing that again. And it's just like you said, Gina, it's a tangible touch that we just don't see anymore.
That's right.
Right. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, ladies, for being with us today. I appreciate all your comments. And Lauren, thanks so much for all the tips and everything that you shared with us.
Thank you so much, Lori. I certainly appreciate it.
Thank you. Y'all have a wonderful day.
You too.